So let's say you're watching this video and you're having shifting problems with your 7.2 2.3 or 7.2 2.4 transmission, and you're wondering what to do. What should I do? Do I need to overhaul the transmission? Do I need to take it into a shop? How hard is this? There's all kinds of questions, and there's options. You can see here, I've got everything laid out on the bench. If you want to go for a complete overhaul, you have to remove the transmission from the car, tear it all down. There's a lot of cleaning. It's not rocket science, but it is time consuming. And of course, if you don't want to do it yourself, you can send it out to a shop to have them pull the transmission or get a rebuild. So those are options as well. But there's one other option I want to throw out at you in this video, and that's don't panic right away. If you saw one of my earlier videos, I talked about all those tests that you can do externally to make sure that it's not a vacuum issue, to make sure it's not a modulator problem, to make sure it's not a Bowden cable out of adjustment. I'll go ahead and put a link below and you can go back and watch that video if you haven't seen it. Then I did a video on how do you know when your transmission's done? How do you know when it's just worn out? And I'll put a link below to that video too. But if you have a transmission, let's say it's less than 250,000 miles, because you get up in that 250 to 300,000 mile and above range, you're just talking about age-related issues. But I found pretty much under 250,000 miles if it's had regular fluid changes and it does not have any metal particles in the pan, the fluid does not smell burnt, and the outside of the transmission is not leaking fluid all over the place, you might consider this here, the valve body. One of my goals here is to remove some of the mystery surrounding these valve bodies, because when you remove the mystery, you remove part of the fear. And when you remove the fear, that builds confidence, and you might be willing to take this on. If you're looking at this and you're having transmission shifting problems, hey, this is something you can do. Now note here, this is not the way you take these apart. I'm just showing you all this because this is everything you'll have to deal with. It's very important when you do this that you remove these different command valves and accumulators, that you take them out and you put them in specific orders. Now there's lots of good documentation, so if you bump the table and they all run together, you're not going to be lost, because there's some tremendous documentation available both from Mercedes and from the aftermarket that shows you where every one of these little balls go, where every one of these command valves go, where these go, where the springs go, because some of the springs go over here. So you don't have to panic, okay? You can actually take this apart, remove all the pieces, clean it, and put it all back together. You just have to be careful. You just have to make sure that you're keeping track of it, that you have the right documentation. Now, why should you do this? Why do you need to take a valve body apart when you're working on your transmission? In fact, you could do this without even removing the transmission from the car. Let me show you. This is the key reason why you want to do this. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, if your valve body's working okay, just put it back in. The valve body that you see here was removed from a 1980 300D Mercedes. It's a 722.1, had approximately 210,000 miles on it. It wasn't particularly exhibiting any problems, but I thought I would open up the valve body for show and tell, all right? It comes in 3 pieces. Now, before I open this up, I want to talk about cleanliness. If you read the Mercedes repair information, both on microfiche and some of the old manuals, when they talk about working on the valve body, guess what they say that you should put this on? It's leather. They tell you to put this on leather, keep all the parts on leather, because leather doesn't have any lint on it. I see these people using these blue shop towels. They're not lint-free, and other paper and stuff to clean these. Why do you think the factory said, you got to put this on leather so you absolutely don't get any lint in it? Well, it must be pretty critical that you don't get stuff in here, because if you get stuff in here, then it's not going to work right. So what stuff is getting in here anyway? Look at this gasket. Look at that crud. What do you think that's doing inside the command valves and the check balls, okay? Now let's look at this section of the valve body. You'd say, what? How did all this stuff get in here? Look at this. Way up in here, down in these channels. You think, well, this is some of the worst I've seen. Okay. Now this is in two pieces over here. So there's three pieces in this valve body. Let's take a look at this one. We open it up. It has an intermediate plate. You know, look at the dirt in there, see? And then look in here. Look at the junk. So where does that come from? And if the factory's telling you to put this together on leather so you don't get any dust in it, I think you can see I'm making my point here. Most of the stuff you see in the valve body comes from worn clutches. The material coming off the clutches as they wear, and it works its way down into all these passages. If you're suddenly having some transmission shift problems, imagine that all you'd have to do to fix them is to remove this. You can remove this from the transmission without pulling the transmission out of the car. You take it apart, you clean it. We're not talking about overhauling it here. We're just talking about cleaning it. And you put it back together and suddenly your transmission is fixed. Can you imagine the joy that you would experience if you found out that was the only problem with your transmission? Okay, I know what some of you are thinking, well, the valve body, that's a lot of work. Well, it's not as much work as pulling a transmission. If you've changed transmission fluid, filter, gasket, and been under the car, you can pull the valve body out and clean it. We're not talking about overhauling. We're just talking about taking it all apart. Now, there are some upgrades you can make to this, and I'll be carrying some of those things on my website, but you just don't have to think in terms of overhaul. Just basically cleaning everything and meticulously putting it back together could solve the problem. There's no guarantee. You say, well, what if I go to all that work and the transmission's still not shifting properly? Well, at least this part of the job is done. Okay, you see where I'm going with that? You don't have to redo this because you didn't have to pull the transmission. But if you go after the valve body first, and even if you make some modifications to the valve body and it solves the shifting problems, you can pat yourself on the back because suddenly you've saved quite a bit of work. But if it's still not solving the problem, then you may have to take the transmission out and go through it, but at least your valve body is done. So I'm just throwing that out there as an option to those of you who might be having weird shifting problems with your old transmission.